What's going on, guys? So finally, I'm getting my review out for Project Hail Mary. Let's go ahead and jump right to it. Before doing this review, I wanted to see the movie more than once, mainly because I'd read the book at the beginning of the year, and I knew one way or another it was going to be impossible to not make comparisons. And of course, that happened, and I saw it again. And I gotta say, I loved it, and I can't wait to see it again. And then again. Project Hail Mary is about a man, Ryland Grace, who has a temporary mission to go out to space and basically find something to save the world because there's something eating at the sun. And on his mission, on his travels, he encounters an unexpected ally who has the same exact problem, so they must work together to find out how they can save their worlds. So real quick, what I want to do is I want to go through my nitpicks because they're very minor, and then I want to get into like what I actually liked about the movie. First off, I didn't like the non-linear storytelling in the book, and I also didn't like it in the movie. The second thing for me is that the science of the movie was almost too easy in the fact that like how they learned to speak. The book really goes in depth into how Ryan Gosling was actually, or Ryland was able to pick up on what Rocky was doing and like all the ideas and everything like that that got him to the point to where he used the computer like he does in the movie. But it almost was like too quick. It was almost like he had experienced it before and he's like, oh, okay, wait, I know what to do. And that's not how that is in the book. So I wish they kind of went a little bit more in depth into that as well, especially for things like Earth technology and Rocky's discovery of that and his fascination with the laptop. Things like that make a really big difference in the book that I kind of wish they went on a little bit more in the movie. Another thing I wanted to see was Ryland. So like he knows he's smart, but he doesn't know why he's smart, and they kind of go into that. I wanted to see more depth in the rediscovering of his intelligence. And lastly, when Ryland returns to Rocky's ship near the end in the final action scene of the movie, I guess you could say, I believe there was a lot more to it in the book, that like Rocky and him were interacting more and they were working together more to get the astrophage or whatever out of Rocky's ship, or vice versa, Rocky out of the ship. There was something missing there. But now that that's out of the way, man, I gotta say, like I said earlier, I love this film. From the beginning, Ryland Gosling, what did I just say? Ryan Gosling as Ryland Grace. Try saying that 10 times fast. He captures you and makes you believe that you could be him. And then so he's kind of like your everyday man, it seems like, even though he's super, super smart. But that gets you invested into the character right away. The chemistry between him and Rocky is awesome. This is why non-CGI props matter, because you truly feel the connection between these two characters. With Rocky and Ryland, I've seen many comparisons to something of like E.T. and Elliot from E.T. obviously, and it's been a while since I've seen E.T., but I didn't see it more of a relationship like that. I kind of saw it more as a relationship of Baymax and Hero, where they're both kind of just discovering who they are with full communication. With Ryland and Rocky, I would love to see a style of like a Daryl and Thor roommate style, like miniseries. I think that would be so hilarious. Next up, I actually really enjoyed the music upon my second viewing. I wasn't a fan of the first one because I was expecting something more fantastical in regards to like Interstellar or something like that, and we didn't necessarily get that. But I do really actually enjoy the music after seeing it again and knowing what to expect from the tune. And speaking of Interstellar, I actually felt like that the first time I saw Interstellar 2. It was something so different and out of the blue. It didn't really sit well with me at first, and then I grew to love it more and more. So I'm sure the more I see Project Hail Mary, the more I'm going to love the soundtrack to it as well. The music in it, it has this sort of innocence to it. And when I hear it, sometimes throughout the movie, I also thought of the soundtrack or the score from Good Will Hunting. There's just a certain soft innocence to it that it's kind of hard to explain, but I gathered that a lot from Project Hail Mary, and also like kind of a mixture of the Good Will Hunting score and the score from The Explorers. I think that might be the best way to kind of compare this score, but other than that, it feels out of place in a sense, but it makes sense for the story, which oddly enough is kind of like our main character. He's the perfect fit for the story, but he's out of place for sure. Lastly, I loved the visuals to this movie. Man, seeing this in IMAX and RPX my second time was one of the most visually pleasing movies that I've seen in quite a while. I don't remember. I don't think there's a movie that came out last year that is as visually pleasing as this movie is. There's a specific scene in the movie that it is shown in the trailer as well, but when they're floating outside of the planet Adrian, it's like all green and orange, and then he turns on the infrared or whatever it is, and then it goes like all like the red sparkles and everything like that. There's so many moments like that in this movie that are just like, oh man, like this is just cool. And when Ryland is floating there, Rocky's like, what are you doing? And Ryland's like, I'm having a moment. And because I mean any human would, they don't go to space. We don't go to space often. But But in the movie, we as the audience are also having that same moment, which was brilliant. And it was so nice to see. And it's a quiet moment and the theater's quiet and you're all on the same wavelengths and you're just enjoying the moment of the movie. And that came down to the visuals, it came down to the music, and it also came down to the relationship / performance of Ryan Gosling as Ryland and Rocky. And you literally just think to yourself, like, man, this is why I come to the movies. There's no 4K TV or 8K TV or any TV out there that will ever match the visuals, the good visuals of a good movie. I love this movie, as you can tell. The more times I see it, I love it even more. And for being slightly over 2.5 hours, this movie flies by. The pacing is great. All in all, from fa la la to fist my bump, I'd give this movie a Rocky thumbs up, which looks like a thumbs down, but it is a thumb up with a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Go see this film, get lost in it, enjoy the moment, live in the moment, see it on the biggest screen, see it on the brightest screen, and just enjoy your time and let me know what you think about it when you see it in the comments below. Have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you at the movies. Peace.